English literature to the 15th century. From Chaucer to Tottel's Miscellany. Historical events. Battle of Agincourt, 1415. The Battle of Agincourt was one of the English victories in the 100 Years' War. King Henry V of England led his troops into battle and participated in hand-to-hand fighting. Fall of Constantinople, 1453. The fall of Constantinople was the capture of the Byzantine Empire's capital by the Ottoman Empire. War of the Roses 1455 to 1485. The Wars of the Roses were a series of English civil wars for control of the throne of England fought between supporters the House of Lancaster, represented by a red rose, and the House of York, represented by a white rose. First printing press. Caxton introduced the first printing press in England on 1476. Poetry. John Legate. Legate of Bury was a monk and poet. Major works: Fall of Princess, Siege of Thebes, The Legend of St. Alban. Thomas Hoccleve. Hoccleve or Occleve was an English poet and clerk who has been seen as a key figure in 15th century Middle English literature. Major works: Letter of Cupid, The Complaint of Our Lady. John Skelton, also known as John Shelton, was an English poet and tutor to King Henry VIII of England. Major works: Garland of Laurel, Boge of Court, The Book of Philip Sparrow. Stephen Hawes. Stephen was a popular English poet during the Tudor period. Major works: The Pastime of Pleasure, influenced Edmund Spenser, The Conversion of Swearers, A Joy Fide Meditina to All England. Alexander Barclay. Alexander was a poet and clergyman of the Church of England. Major works: The Ship of Fools, translated The Mirror of Good Manners, from the Italian of Dominic Mancini. David Lindsay. Sir David Lindsay, who gained the highest heraldic office of Lion King of Arms. He remains a well-regarded poet whose works reflect the spirit of the Renaissance. Major works: The Dream, The Testament and Complaint of the Papingo. William Dunbar. Dunbar was a Scottish Macker poet and was closely associated with the court of King James IV. Major works: The Goldantarge and the Thistle and the Roys. Gavin Douglas. Douglas was a Scottish bishop, Macker and translator. Major works: Aeneas, a full and faithful vernacular translation of the Aeneid of Virgil, Pals of Honour, and possibly King Hart. Prose. Reginald Paycock. Paycock was an English prelate, scholastic, and writer. He wrote books of both a pedagogical and polemical nature. Major works: The Donat and the Book of Faith. Thomas More. Sir Thomas More was an English lawyer, social philosopher, author, statesman, and noted Renaissance humanist. Thomas also served Henry VIII as Lord High Chancellor of England. Major works: Utopia, 1516, about the political system of an imaginary island state. The History of King Richard III, influenced William Shakespeare's play Richard III. Literature of the Early Renaissance, 1400 to 1557. From Chaucer to Tottel's Miscellany. William Tyndale. Tyndale was an English scholar who became a leading figure in the Protestant Reformation. He is well known for his incomplete translation of the Bible into English. Thomas Wyatt. Sir Thomas Wyatt was an English politician, ambassador, and lyric poet credited with introducing the sonnet to English literature. 96 love poems appeared in Tottel's Miscellany, 1557, printed 15 years after his death. Henry Howard. Henry Howard, Earl of Surrey, was an English nobleman, politician and poet. He was one of the founders of English Renaissance poetry and the last known execution by King Henry VIII. Surrey was the first English poet to publish blank verse, unrhymed iambic pentameter, in his translation of the second and fourth books of Virgil's Aeneid. Together, Wyatt and Surrey, due to their excellent translations of Petrarch's sonnets, are known as fathers of the English sonnet. Sonjas and sonnets, usually called Tottel's Miscellany, consisted of 271 poems, was the first printed anthology of English poetry.